there, YouTubers. What we got today, man, for a video is we're going to test out a few different radios, and I'm going to show y'all the difference between radios, the tunes on them, how some of these guys show you some of these things in their amp videos and so forth. What we're going to start off with is a, I'm not going to use a stock radio. I don't really have too much of a stock radio around here, but this radio right here still has the stock final in it. All we did was add variable power, did a couple audio mods to it, nothing really extravagant. And also what I'm going to do is be running into this 2x6 bass amp here that we have, and that's what we're going to do. So we'll just turn that off first. I'll show you what the radio's doing. It's about a little over 4 watt dead key, 50 watt slug. Oh yeah, about 7.5. Peak side. Hello. About 38. Okay. Now, what we're gonna do is we'll fire up the amp. Now it's all 2x6 is what it is. Now on this meter here, I got a 1000 watt slug in there. So you're gonna read the bottom scale. And then my digital Dave is the peak, and then of course that's right behind the radio. So if you follow this coax, it's hooking up right to the radio. So we're holding about 180. I had it set for 200. Audio. So about 600. On talk, it's probably about 550 peak. Audio. About 2 grand. And what the radio is doing. Audio. So still about that 7.5, 8. That's why I like 29 so much. They don't really back off none. Okay, now we've seen what that's doing. Now what I'm going to do is, this is a Comp Tune 29 for the same customer, and I'm going to hook that in line, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, now we're on one of the radios I've Comp Tuned for the same customer. It's a Soundtracker model. I'm not real crazy about this model, but you know, they don't do bad on the tune-ups either. So let's get on with it. I'm going to shut the amp off. I'll show you all what it's doing first. Got the same dead key, about 4.5, something like that. Come on. Oh, yeah, on. So good 11, 12 out of it. Oh, yeah. And I'll go ahead and just show you peak. I'm not going to sit here and get a different peak slug if it pegs it in the corner. So, oh, yeah, which it did. So we definitely know it's doing over 50 peak. But it's not the peak I'm worried about. It's the RMS. Now, we're going to flip on the 2x6. And this isn't a Philly, so the Phillies are the baddest ones out of the bunch. Roughly about the same dead key. Oh, yeah. Hello. Here's peak. Oh, yeah. Hello. So 21 to 2200. Another 100 bird. And that's the difference. And that's why I tell guys, I laugh all the time when I hear a guy say, if you want more watts out of your setup, you know, don't tune up on the radios. Get your bigger amp. Well, hey, I just got 100 more bird watts out of this thing and about another 200 peak just by changing out radios. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move on, and I'm going to go to the 959 single final, then I got a dual final, and then the sleeper radio is my Grant over there. So give me a second, and we're going to hook that up. Alright guys, here's one of my new favorite radios, man. I'm really getting to like this new MOSFET 959s. Now this is a single final radio here. It just has the one final on it, but it's got all my comp tune and everything done on it. So let's get on with the show here. Now, same dead key as with the other radios. Oh yeah, that's 15 RMS. I'll go ahead and hit peak just for the giggles. Oh yeah, it's about 32. But not, like I tell everybody, I'm really worried about the RMS more than I am that peak. So we'll go ahead and hit the box on. Still on the 1000 watt slug. As you see, about the same dead key. Oh yeah, a little over 900. Oh yeah, about 17. And that's what we get out of this. And what's the radio doing? I meant to do that with the comp tune. Cobras don't back off. Oh, yeah. So right there at about the 15. So not bad at all. Now, let's move on to the next radio. Alright guys, we're on to the next 959. Now this one's dual final. It's got my comp tune in it, but it's got 2 finals instead of the single like the other one. So let's get on. Show you the radio. Got the same dead key as the rest. Oh, yeah. Hello, 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 hello. And as you see, it's over 20. Now, let's hit the peak on it. Oh, yeah. And there's your 50 in the corner. Okay. Now, this is a high drive 2x6. We set it up because this guy's got a, he runs some Comp 29s, but he's also got the Striker radio. No, we don't need the preamp. And as you see, we're always on the same channel. Okay, back to 1,000 watts. Roughly about the same dead key. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And as you see, we put the 1,000 bird slug in the corner. We got the 2,000 peak. And here's what the radio's doing. Oh, yeah. So it fell off a little bit. We lost about 3 watts. And that's what happens with radios. Most guys don't understand that. And I try to explain it to them. These radios fall off a little bit when you try to use them to push an amplifier. And that's the nature of the business. You didn't see it so bad with the single final 959. But that's the nature of these type of radios. Where the Cobras don't back down at all. And that's why they're a favorite amongst the key down guys. They don't back down at all. But you can't dispute the watts that you get out of this still with the radio backing down a little bit. That's why when I showed it by itself and it was doing 22, you're like, oh my gosh, he's going to run that into an amplifier. Well, really, it's going to back down to that 18 that I need. It's actually 1 watt too much, but in this case, with this particular amp, I've got the input heavied up enough that it'll take that. Let's move on to the last one, and I call this my wolf in sheep's clothing. And we'll show you that one here in just a second. That's going to be my Grant XL. And I'll be right back. Alright guys, we're on to my Grand XL, and let me give you all a little thing on these. These radios are the same thing as a 148 Cobra 2000 unit in Madison. It's of the 148 chassis design. And the thing with these radios, why I really like them, man, and they're, like I said, a wolf in sheep's clothing, man. These radios won't show you nothing by themselves, but boy, will they drive the shit out of an amplifier. Now, I wouldn't suggest that this is a key down radio or anything like that. I've never really tested in that scenario. We've always just stuck with the 29s. But let's get on with the show. Right around the same dead key as the other radios. Oh, yeah. Hello, hello, hello. It's actually showing me a little bit more today than normal. Normally it does about 9 RMS. And here's peak. Oh, yeah. It's about 31 on the peak. Now, let's fire up the amp. Okay. Same 1,000 watt slug. Roughly right around the same dead key. Oh, yeah. Hello, 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 audio. I was seeing about 800 earlier. Oh, yeah. Anywhere between 700 and 800 on the bird. Peak side. Oh, yeah. And that's where these radios kind of suffer a little bit, is on the peak. As far as going through the amps. But I'll take the RMS any day over the peak. But, and that's what you get. And that's why when I do most of my videos, the radio we use all the time is a stock 29 up there. We're not baffling anybody with any kind of foolish watts. Now, I could go put one of these 959s in line, or even this Grant, and I could show you all these wonderful watts out of an amplifier, but that's not the right thing to do to sell my amplifiers. We always use strictly a stock radio. All I've done to it is added variable power, stock finals, all that good kind of nonsense in there, and we leave it at that. And I use the same mic on every one of these radios, so it's not a mic thing or anything. So it's the radios, and that's why I tell guys it's worth the amount of money to put into a radio to have it tuned, but have it tuned correctly. That's the other key. Now, the thing with the 959s is I really, really do like the audio out of them. They've got some really good audio out of them. I mean, superb audio, and on top of that, they drive the shit out of an amplifier. And, I mean, there's the proof. And that's why I did a meter right behind everything. Now let's do this. I didn't do this, but let's show you the Grant. This is one of the reasons why I kind of like these radios. They don't back off either. Oh, yeah. Hello, 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 hello. And as you see, it actually increased. And that's the weird thing about these radios, and that's what I try to tell guys all the time. These 148 chassis radios drive the shit out of stuff, man. They really do. And, of course, it's a sideband radio. It might not show you a lot by itself, but they can take off, man. Ain't no doubt. I hope you all enjoyed this informative video about how different tunes will do different things for your amplifier. You know, I mean, if you've got like a little 2x4, or in this case, this guy's got a 2x6, and basically, you know, wants a little bit more power, but doesn't want to spend the money to jump into a 2x8. You know, you're talking $500-600, maybe more, when you could spend $50 to $100 on having a tune-up done. You know, it's well worth having that tune-up done to get that extra few more ponies out of your stuff, man. Hope you all enjoyed. I enjoy doing these videos for you guys and try to keep everything, you know, within reason, and you know, the perspectives out there. I know there's a lot of horse hockey and you know, stuff like that going on out there in the CB world, man, and all these guys, you know, telling you one thing and this and that, but this is the real deal. This is how it works. You know, proof is in the bird meters. You know, guy that's out there showing you all these peak numbers, well, he can keep on showing you the peak numbers, because the guy with the bird numbers, he's going to wax that ass. That's just the way it is. Hope you all enjoy it. Old Stickman at the No Name Amp CB shop, guys, and we'll see y'all. Bye, bye, bye.